It's the True Penny Show with your host, James True Penny.
The next matchup, well, let's see. The ghost of Meiko Satomura's career hangs heavy over this company for obvious reasons. She still runs it. And there is always a need in Joshi for a final boss, if you will, because there always has to be someone you gotta beat. And for a long while, that final boss was Aja Kong, until Meiko Satomura defeated Aja Kong. And then she became the final boss. And with Satomura going out on top, that void to fill as final boss has kind of been filled by Saree. For Marigold, for Stardom, for her own company, as a freelancer, there's only really one top dog left in Joshi, and she has become it. So this was an interesting matchup against Meiko Satomura's great protege, Manami. Manami, we've seen a lot on this show. She was in Meiko Satomura's final match. She tagged with Satomura. That was a hell of a rub. And this is kind of Sendai Girls and Satomura and Dash Chisako kind of building her up for something big, I feel. Bearing in mind she's still only 20 years old. And she's been a professional wrestler... 21 years old. She's been a professional wrestler for 8 years. I'll say that again. Slowly, with gaps. She is 21 years old, has been a pro wrestler for 8 years. Has more poise and charisma and drawing potential than any other wrestler I've seen in a very long time. And I have a feeling she's going to have more matches like this where she doesn't win. But that's not the point. We're seeing growth. We're seeing improvement. We're seeing her become the main event player that will replace Chihiro Hashimoto when the time comes, but also could be the next big final boss of Joshi when she matures into the wrestler we all think she can be. And she's only going to get there if she wrestles people like Saree on a regular basis. And this was exceptional. It's not the best match on the card, nor should it be, because it's the third match on the card. But it is very important, I think, in Manami's career. And I think it's very important for Saree to show where she is. Because in a couple of years' time, this will be the main event. And it'll be the main event at Kurikan Hall. It'll be the main event at the Sumo Hall. And it'll be very much all over your TV somewhere. What do you think of this one, Marcus?
Yeah, it's a fundamental block builder for Manami. And with every motion, you need people who can build like Saree, and you need builders, and you need people who can who look good but can still be built. And Manami also has she has good physicality about herself as well with height. She's not diminutive in that way. So when she gets better, and at this point, I'm just convinced it's the environment, because so many times we hear how young somebody is in the States, and maybe because it's just more of a entertainment value placed in certain areas that a lot of times, if it's somebody that seems like they're tremendous at young of an age as Manami, it's because the athleticism keeps them ahead of a curve where their traditional wrestling skills have to catch up to. In Japan, it just feels like everything kind of has to come together because of the environment you're in. When you're facing off against people like Saree and others, you can't really have too many lapses in your game. And obviously, like they say about kids, when starting foreign languages, you want to get it out the way early because of the retention rate, like this with wrestling. And because at this point, it's an endless amount of names that we could cover talking about these shows that it's like, guess how old this one is. It's like, Jesus. Like, it's like the minute they got out of middle ropes, the minute they got out of middle school, it's like, just run the ropes and you're going to naturally transition. But like you said, this wasn't the match of the night, didn't need to be the match of the night. This is building for future main events.
Absolutely,
as long as the Ray stays healthy and continues to be that person that you need as a prover, Manami's going to be able to get there to prove herself, but just not on this night. But she put on a hell of a performance.
Marcus, you just busted out Vygotsky'S theory of social cognition. You may have not recognized this, but you did.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You did. Vygotsky was a Russian educational psychologist in the 1930s, and he was the first to notice that children between the ages of 3 and 5 pick up foreign languages way earlier and much better retention than older children who are trying to learn the same thing. And he called it his theory of social cognition. If you put someone at that age group in amongst a bunch of people and kids, a bunch of kids are in the same age group, they will pick up the language, they will pick up the rules of the games that they're playing, they'll pick up all of their social cues more or less instantly because of that. Vygotsky was kind of like ignored for years because obviously he was Russian and a communist. Because, let's not get ideology in the way of things. But yeah, it's one of the major building blocks of modern education systems around the world. And you were absolutely right. We are bringing the heavy theory to Joshi wrestling these days, kids. That's just where we're at. True story. I'm not kidding. This is what I spent my degree doing.